When someone is kind to you without a reason, the reaction happens before thought. The body tightens, attention sharpens, something inside you switches from receiving to monitoring. Instead of calm, there is alertness. That moment matters because it reveals a learned pattern, not a personality trait. The brain is not confused by kindness itself. It is confused by the lack of context. In familiar experiences, warmth usually arrived attached to timing, behavior, or expectation. When none of those appear, the system pauses, assuming something important has not been revealed yet. Many people believe this discomfort means distrust toward the other person, but that is misleading. You are not judging their intentions. You are checking the structure. The mind is asking where the rest of the pattern is. In earlier experiences, kindness rarely existed alone. It often came with obligation, performance, or future requests. So when warmth appears without explanation, it disrupts a rule the brain once depended on. The discomfort is not rejection. It is a verification process triggered by inconsistency between past patterns and present input. The brain prioritizes predictability over comfort. Predictability reduces uncertainty. When kindness appears without a reason, predictability collapses. There is no behavior to adjust, no signal to respond to, no role to step into. That absence creates a gap. The mind dislikes gaps. It tries to close them quickly, so instead of relaxing, attention stays elevated. The system waits, assuming the missing condition will surface later. In the past, it usually did. Waiting once prevented surprise. Now it prevents ease. This response forms through repetition, not a single memory. Over time, attention became conditional. Care appeared when something was offered in return. Warmth faded when usefulness ended. Gradually, kindness stopped feeling neutral. It became a signal that something would be required, even if unspoken, that learning reduced disappointment. It trained preparation. But preparation carries a cost. It keeps the nervous system active even when no threat exists, turning rest into something that feels unsafe. When someone offers kindness without conditions, the brain searches for the exchange. What is expected? What should be given back? How long it will last? These questions surface automatically. They are not conscious doubts. They are procedural checks. The system is not asking if the kindness is genuine. It is asking what it will require. Because in earlier patterns, warmth was never free. It was delayed payment. And delayed payment taught vigilance instead of trust. Silence after kindness often intensifies the discomfort. Silence feels incomplete. In earlier environments, silence meant something followed. A request, a shift, a demand that reframed the original warmth. So, even when nothing happens, the system remains open. It continues monitoring. The loop does not close. This produces low-level tension that can persist long after the interaction ends. Not because anything went wrong, but because the expected second half of the pattern never arrived. There is also a subtle loss of control in unconditional kindness. In transactional dynamics, positioning is clear. You know how to behave. You know how to protect yourself. When kindness has no conditions, there is nothing to calculate, no leverage, no distance to manage. That lack of control feels destabilizing. The mind cannot locate a safe position. So it labels the situation as suspicious, not because it is harmful, but because it offers no instructions for self-preservation. This is why overinterpretation appears. Tone is analyzed. Timing is questioned. Small details gain weight. The system attempts to restore balance by assuming intent. Accepting kindness as it is would require releasing an old rule. That rule says attention always has a price. That belief once reduced vulnerability. It prevented being caught unprepared. But it also made genuine care difficult to receive, without tension or mental calculation. At this stage, the discomfort is no longer emotional. It is procedural. A rule is being enforced automatically. A rule that says warmth must be justified, earned, explained. When it is not body's alert, then remains slightly outside the moment. This happens before thought, before memory, before judgment. The system is not recalling a story. It is applying a framework that once made unpredictable relationships easier to survive. Here is the part most people miss. This discomfort is not intuition. It is not maturity. It is training. A system that learned safety through distance, not closeness. A rule that once prevented loss, now preventing relief. That is why kindness feels heavier than neutrality. Your brain is not asking if the kindness is real. It is asking what it will cost. Until that question stops running, kindness, without a reason, will always feel unfinished.